routine. She's done the most counting routines of Oregon State, but a good start for her.
And now Caitlin Rosen will start on bars for UCLA. The freshman from Bourne, Texas, has done the all-around the past 2 weeks and is expected to do so today. First 2 all-arounds here in her freshman year. Last week had a very good 39.5. And on bars, posted a career-high 9.925.
Coaches say she is a gamer. She loves to compete. Really turns it on when the lights go on. Super clean so far. Nice control. She's definitely working the bars well. Tiny little hop there, does a good job to hold the finish position, but she has pretty noticeable leg separations on both of the flips in that double layout that we'll watch right here. Now, my angle's different from the judges. This is as well, but you can see both of those leg separations could be a 10th each. Still a dynamic way for Bruins to start their bar lineup.
I love that final handstand and the way she held it. A 9.85 for Natalie Brohonis, matching her career high. And now Sage Thompson, the former Utah Red Rock, first year with the Beavers after a couple of years in Salt Lake City. Coming off a season low 9.75 last week and a return to her former school, Utah. She was just a little short on the landing and had to hop forward.
And with the injury to Sydney Gonzalez, Sage will be in the beam lineup, which means she'll compete all around today for the first time in her collegiate career. Looks like there's a little bit of honestly, a computer issue here on the judges' table. It's a new scoring system they're using called Vertius. And until you're live, you gotta practice it in real time.
So what does this do to Sage Thompson? She's like a kicker in football being ice.
Yep, a little bit, and it makes you have to sort of reset and really make sure that you focus at the task at hand. Beautifully done.
Better than last week indeed.
Yes, fantastic job. Very clean and smooth. She can do the 1.5. It's a risk-reward decision for the coaches. She actually was a little bit high on, and so didn't get quite as much repulsion. So she was still twisting right into the ground. Not enough time to spot the landing for the stick there. I like how straight she kept her body, though, on the way down.
Now here's the freshman Alex Irvine getting our first look at her. She was in the bars lineup 2 weeks ago, competing for the first time in her collegiate career and struggled, posting an 8.075. So this is a big moment for her.
Very nice handstand to start. We'll do this pike Jaeger and way too far. You could tell from the beginning she let go too early, which means she was too far away from the bar to make that catch. The exact same issue that she had in her fall at Washington.
So the week prior, she had exhibition for the first time as a collegian and had a 9.7. Then she had the 8.075. How much of that is nerves?
You know, she nailed it in warm-ups. So I think it really is, bars is so much about timing. So if you have a little too much aggression, too much oomph, and so that's going to be another little deduction on that release move. So she will not start from a 10.0 and have the 5/10 for that fall. But the coaches were effusive about her future, that she is really great on all 4 events, has a good head about her. So we'll take a look at this fall on the Jaeger. It's so important to time correctly when you let go of the bar. So you could tell her fingertips just nicked it. The bar twisted a little bit, but a really beautiful full in, full out dismount. And, you know, took a teeny tiny step there on the landing. So hopefully the one the Bruins will want to drop.
We'll see her again on vault. 9.75 for Sage Thompson, and now Caitlin Garcia.
Usually has a very clean Yurchenko full. Love how she flared out her arms there. Has a really great control and mastery of that vault. She warmed up a couple 1.5s. We talk about that a lot because, you know, this Yurchenko full is out of a 9.95. But really, really excellent. Kept her body nice and straight the entire time.
3 weeks ago, matched her career high with a 9.85. In 3 of the last 4 weeks, she's just been a 1/4 of a 10th off of that, 9.825. Still awaiting a score for Alex Irvine as Emma Balabuyo gets set to go. Emma is going to be heading from Corvallis to Cairo. Get this, the team flies home tomorrow, and then the very next day she'll be heading to Cairo, where she's going to participate in a World Cup event in hopes to become an Olympian for the Philippines. She was an alternate for the U.S. 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's super exciting to see so many college athletes making the run at the Paris Olympics. Obviously, Jade Carey doing that as well. Emma, for the Philippines, will be coached out there by the Philippine national team. Obviously, Janelle and the UCLA staff can't take a break mid-season, but should she qualify, she's got these 3 World Cup events about as far from UCLA as possible, and then she'd come back to Westwood to train for the Olympics.
An Olympic team alternate in Tokyo. She says elite in crossover training, elite in college crossover training has been good. She says it's the same routines, just kind of flip some skills around.
And she caught that pack salto a little bit close, did a good job to maintain form, maintain composure. Good handstands thus far. We'll do a full in, dismount, and just a hop back. A good way to get that bar lineup back on track. Take a look at her handstand position. So basically take your pencil and stand it straight up. That is what your handstand should look like. You've got about 10 degrees either way of leeway. She did a really nice job and almost nailing that just now.
9.825 for Caitlin Garcia. And now Olivia Buckner has a vault with a 10-0 start value. Really been working hard recently on the landing and finding the stick.
Oh, really unfortunate fall off to the side there. I thought her entry was good enough. Usually you want to hear the table when they block. That means that their shoulders are in the right place, and hers are just a little closed, and you can see she's pretty close to the vault, which is evidence that she just didn't have enough repulsion both to complete the flip and to complete the twist.
She had back-to-back misses in weeks 3 and 4, and then last week in front of a huge crowd in Utah posted a career-high 9.95.
Yeah, great hometown return for her with that 9.95. I've no doubt, though, that she is going to find that vault. It's just her 6th meet.
Now, ultra important for UCLA not to have a fall among the final 3. 9.8 for Malabuya. Now, Frazier, Esparza, and Harris. Your 6 gymnasts go. You count 5 scores. They want to put a red line through Alex Irvine. The national qualifying scores are coming out soon. They need a good score on the road because 3 road scores are counted.
And that is something that Coach Janelle McDonald talked about being ultra important for them today. Excellent handstand half pirouette. It looks simple, but is one of the hardest things to land in handstand. That one a tiny bit shy, but let's see if she can nail the dismount and just a tiny hop. It was beautifully done, double layout, just textbook form. Has been working on the little details, but was a little too excited and lands this and hops almost in place. You want to see her absorb the mat by bending the knees a little bit more. You can tell the team is ready to erupt and celebrate with her, but they really need to take a beat and let her hold that finish position for 1/1000. Otherwise, the judges take a 0.5 deduction.
9.275 for Olivia Buckner. And now Sophia Esposito getting pressure on the Beavers. They don't want to count a fall. Esposito, the freshman from Melville, New York, doing the first all-around in her career tonight.
She is a powerhouse.
Yes.
Really, I talked about hearing the vault. It was loud. She blocked so well, got so much height, and thus was able to really find the landing. Really great body position in the air. You could take a picture frame by frame. You would see that she is in the correct position. Really super freshman.
Next rotation, she'll be competing bars for the first time in her college career. 9.9 for Margzetta Frazier. All right, here's Frida Esparza. 3 weeks ago suffered a fall. 2 weeks ago exhibition, and last week back in the competitive lineup. Carted a solid 9.825. They need her and the anchor Selena Harris to have a couple of hits here to avoid counting a fall.
Janelle said she's one of the purest swingers on the team, but was out last season with an injury and is just needing to rebuild her competitive confidence. Maloney start. We'll go down to that pack salto. Beautifully done. And she'll do this Van Leeuwen half twist between the bars. Excellent job. I'd say that handstand missed a little bit, but the double layout gets the landing. The first stick for the Bruins. One down, got one to go to be able to throw out that score.
Two-time competitor at the World Championships for Mexico, 2018-2019, Frida Esparza.
Excellent positions, excellent form throughout. You know, we have the advantage on replay of seeing little things that the judges would miss. Her legs are a little bit apart on that double layout, but really fantastic job. Great to see her gaining her confidence.
Sofia Esposito matched her career high with a 9.9. And now here's our first look at the Olympic gold medalist Jade Carey doing the all-around for the first time this year.
And this is typically her warm-up vault. She hardly has to run. It's so technically well done. She was super stoked. You saw the let's go. She slid back her feet just a little bit.
For an Olympic gold medalist, she is so down to earth.
She really looks like she enjoys this so much, enjoys being with her team. It's just about, I was gonna say as good as you can do it, but I saw 2 leg separations and a tiny
you're
one.
nitpicking.
Well,
but
you
the
know,
judges
slow
do too,
motion.
right?
But we have a little bit of a different angle. It'll be really interesting to see how high they go.
Now she has a vault with a 10.0 start value. That one, 9.95 start value.
Yep, and she is unlikely to do that at all this season because she's training a different vault called a Chang for elite, and they're just a little bit different techniques and blocks. So we won't grace with the Yurchenko double full.
Career high tying 9.925 for Frida Esparza. And now Selena Harris, reigning Pac-12 Gymnast of the Week, career high 39.775 in the all-around last week. 7th in the nation on bars. Anchored the bars rotation last week and notched a 9.95.
Yeah, this Ray starting move, just beautiful. Love a huge same bar release like that. You know, if there's anyone I want in a pinch, in a pressure situation, it is Selena Harris.
They had a fall. This is indeed a pressure situation.
And some gymnasts would have really wavered. Wow.
Got it.
That was really textbook start to finish. I was going to say some gymnasts would waver. That handstand right at the end there, she held it a little long. Looked like she was going to break form, but never did, and continued on this first move, though. This Ray, excellent control. Toes on the bar, huge Tkachev.
All right, Bruin fans, you can breathe a sigh of relief after the second gymnast fell. Malabuyo, Frazier, Esparza, and Harris all come through.
And that connection she does there, the full pirouette into the double layout, one of the hardest dismount combos being done, and does a great job holding that finish position.
Margzetta Frazier and the UCLA Bruins. Bruins with a 48.225. We'll get back and get that officially when we come back to Corvallis. At UCLA, in fact, with a 49.45, that's their high on bars this year. Oregon State 49.175, so the Bruins lead by .275 after one rotation. We're joined by Oregon State head coach Tanya Chaplin. Jade Carey doing the all-around today. When was that decision made?
It was made earlier in the week. She wanted to really just kind of get back into doing everything, so we worked on a few things, and she's gonna go all around tonight. So yeah, we put a floor together this week, and she'll do that.
Sofia Esposito also making her all-around debut tonight. Can you talk about what she brings as a freshman?
Yeah, Soph has been really solid for us all year, and so she's going to add bars. She did a great exhibition last week in Utah, so she's going to start us off on bars, and then Sage Thompson attention has also been put into the all-around now with Sydney coming out of her events.
I was going to ask you about Sydney. Any idea on the severity of her injury at this point?
No, we'll get confirmation later this week probably on what's happening with that injury.
All right, all the best to her.
Thank you.
Yep, so going over to bars right now, your best of it score-wise this season. What can we expect out of the lineup?
You know, we're just trying to stay in the moment, go one skill at a time, make the most of each element, and really try to get in there and get those landings.
Yeah, last year, Uneven Bars was your lowest scoring event. You had a young bar squad. You said you were really pleased with their improvement last year. I would imagine that's doubly true this year.
Yeah, they've been working so hard. They've worked hard. I mean, they work hard every day in the gym, and you know, they want to keep building from what they started early this season.
Go back to Jade. How challenging is it for a gymnast like her, trying to become the first ever active collegian to make an Olympic team, to train for both college and elite?
Yeah, it is a little different. You know, she has expectations. She still has to follow through with the national team. She has 2 floor routines. She has, you know, difficulty upgrades on every event. So the landings are a little more challenging because we can't just focus in on the sticks. We have to do both things here. So, you know, she's doing a great job of managing all of it. And so she takes it one day at a time and works really, really hard all the way through.
Tanya, we love what you've built here.
Thank you.
All right, Tanya Chaplin, head coach of the Oregon State Beavers. Jade Carey, the Olympic gold medalist, doing the all-around tonight for the first time this year. Second rotation coming up. The Beavs will be on bars and UCLA on vault. Carey staying in college while she trains to try to make another Olympic team. Jordan Childs of UCLA, one of those that are electing to take a deferral. She hasn't officially announced if she's coming back to UCLA yet, but the silver medalist from 2021, reigning NCAA champ on bars and floor, and she's taking a deferral, as is Canada's Anna Katarariu for UCLA, as she tries to make another Olympic team. Bruins will head to the vault now, where they are number 5 in the country. Oregon State will be on bars with the number 7 in the nation. So in each case, in this rotation, we will have top 10 teams.
Yep, and different lineups for both of these teams. So new faces for UCLA and Maddie and Amy. We haven't seen too much of Paige and Alex. So we've got, I'm looking at 5 of the 6 in this vault lineup are underclassmen, freshmen or sophomores, making up this vault lineup.
Yeah, and Anastasia, who will start it off, has been in every vault lineup this year here in her freshman season with a high of 9.825 in the Super 16 in week 1. So the Beavers numbers across the 4 rotations. Alex Irvine, who will go second, will be competing on vault for the first time as a collegian. And Maddie Anemi, who will go third, only competed in week 1 this year. So a lot of inexperience at this level. They are again without Shea Campbell and Nia Reed, 2 of their primary vaulters, both being held out. Campbell's been nursing a bit of an injury. We understand that it's just a precautionary measure in both cases, kind of a little NBA load management here, as they hope to have Campbell and Reed solid throughout the season. It also gives gymnasts like Irvine and Anemi a shot in a great environment like this.
And it's really important to get that competitive experience, because like we saw with Sydney Gonzalez, you never know what's going to happen during the meet, and they need the depth to replace Emma Malabuyo.
So here's Paige Anastasia, a freshman from Andover, Mass, about 20 miles north of downtown Boston.
Very nice Yurchenko full for the freshman. A good hold there on the finish position. Earlier in the season, she competed a 1.5. So nice to see her do a clean full to start.
Sophia Esposito doing the all-around for the first time this year. It's her freshman season. The Melville, New York native had a 9.9 on vault. This will be her first ever collegiate bars routine.
She does a big connection to start. Like we saw from Selena Harris, she'll do a ray here, the toe onto Tkachev, and then right into the overshoot. She struggled a little bit in one touch, but no issues there. Well done. Great control, and just a blind fold to double tuck. And nails it.
What a debut on bars for Sophia Esposito.
Her technique on that double tuck is a little different. She does not hold her knees at all. Sort of like, look, ma, no hands.
Michael Chaplin, associate head coach, loving it. Esposito's been consistently in the vault, beam, and floor lineups, but her first ever bars routine. 9.775 for Anastasi, quarter of a tenth better than last week. And now Alex Irvine.
She'll actually do a 10-0 start value here. She'll do that full on to pike off, so really important for her to get some repulsion to try to find the landing. Watch the full twist before the vault, and holds on. I did not see her feet move.
Her first ever collegiate vault.
And is stuck. I have to say that the chest forward on the landing is a deduction, but wow, great job filling in at the last minute. A little bit of flex feet as she finds the floor, but holds on to that stick. Awesome. And also for her to come back after that fall on bars. Great mental toughness.
Indeed. Now, after the 9.825 by Esposito, here is Natalie Briones, had a 9.85 on vault. So last time we'll see her today. Started the 9.85 on bars last week at Utah. Career high 9.9.
Clean bar worker. Nice extended toe point. She will close with a big double layout. Oh, and a hop and then a step, and then didn't quite hold that finish position. So I keep harping on that finish position. Essentially, when you complete your routine, you have to step back together, hold your heels together, arms up for 1 second. Otherwise, it's a half-tenth deduction.
Very nice 9.85 for Alex Irvine on her first ever collegiate vault. And now we get a look at Maddie Anemi. Had a 9.725 at the Super 16 in week number 1. Has not competed since on vault, though she has exhibition. She was in the vault lineup 10 times last year as a freshman.
And Shea Campbell was really coaching her up about air awareness in warm-up. That is a huge vault, like Shea does, really flares out her arms. When I say flare, I mean she throws them out to the side because she has so much power. She has that much time to totally change her arm position, and just such a fast vault.
Speed equals power.
And you've got to harness it the right way. She blocks and flies off the table. The most distance we've seen on that vault. She's a little bit taller too, so just really spectacular looking vault.
Maddie, the sophomore from Sacramento, very fun to watch. That's the only time we expect that we'll see her today. 9.775 for Briones, and now here is Taylor DeVries. Only time we'll see the freshman today. Been in every bars lineup here in her freshman season. I have 9.9 in week 1.
Woo! Great job to hold that handstand. She struggled last week.
Yeah, 9.7 her season low.
But so far, so good after saving that handstand. She was coached in club by a former Bruin, Anna Lee, out at Legacy Elite. Big double layout, and unfortunately, big step back. So a few little nervous sort of elements here, but let's watch this. I think this is her handstand pirouette, beautifully done. And then this double layout dismount, I think she let go a little bit too early. It went a little farther out than it did rise, and thus she wasn't quite finished rotating and had to take that big step.
Yeah, such a pretty dismount. Too bad that she had that step. A 9.8 for Maddie Anemi.
That feels a little low to me when I compare it with some of the other Yurchenko full scores we saw.
And here's the junior Emily Lee, led off the vault lineup last week against Arizona, had a solid enough 9.8, but that's her low for the season.
She'll do that same Yurchenko full. Excellent job, just a tiny slide of her feet back. Coach McDonald was really harping on her to rise and wait a little bit off the table before she starts her turn. That allows her to get a lot of height before the twist and find the landing like she did.
Again, no Shea Campbell, no Nia Reed on vault. Neither of them will compete at all today. Jennifer McMillan getting ready to go here. Fourth in the lineup after the 9.75 for Taylor DeVries. McMillan had a 9.85 last week at Utah. Her career high is 9.95, which she's done twice, including in week 1 this year. And you saw the 9.7 range for Oregon State. They need a good one out of the sophomore Jennifer McMillan.
She has great extension on bars. I would say a little shy on that first handstand. There's her Maloney to a bail. Very nice second handstand there. And she, like DeVries, has a big double layout dismount. Want to see her keep her body fully stretched throughout. A little bit of a pike down, but finds the landing. Excellent, excellent routine. So when I say keep the body stretched, in a double layout position, your body should maintain one straight position the whole time. So she arches a little bit on the first and pikes a little bit on the second, but maintains form and finds the stick.
A 9.8 for Emily Lee. And now Caitlin Rosen had a 9.875 on bars. Last week a 9.875 on vault.
See the 1.5 twist from her. Nice job with the distance, lacked a little bit of the height. And you can see she stepped over the white line, which those lines do not incur specific deductions in college, but they do indicate to the judges that you are off center. Had a little bit of legs also, a little bit of bent knees as she came down to the vault. Not her best, but I mean, in just her 6th meet, she has been really special for this team.
9.875 for Jennifer McMillan. That's a 1/4 higher than last week. And now Sage Thompson tops out a 9.75 on vault. On bars, the former Utah Red Rock posted a 9.85 last week and a return to the Huntsman Center.
Got a great ovation from Huntsman fans. She is such a smooth and beautiful bar worker. Scored a 10 when she was a freshman at Utah and really nailed that half pirouette. She will also do a double layout. Great extension. Watch her float up off the bar. Beautifully done. That was a phenomenal bar routine. I would say one of the best that we've seen tonight. Certainly the best from the Beavers thus far.
She threw a dart on that dismount.
Yeah, I love how it floated. We've seen a lot of double layouts tonight, but look how it rises the first flip at the height of the low bar or the high bar, and then completes it beautifully to find the landing.
3 straight double layouts. The dismount for Oregon State. Again, Taylor DeVries, she didn't pike at all, but she just had the step. 9.825 for Rosen. And now here is Selena Harris.
And
she is 12th in the nation on vault, and
they're going wild because one judge went 10 for Sage Thompson there. The other one went 9.9.
So a 9.95 with one at 10 and one at 9.9.
And that was an incredible vault. She was really upset during warm-up because she was not as nailing it as much as she's used to. But like I said last week with that beam dismount, she just turns it on when that judge's flag goes up. Beautifully done and knows exactly where she is. Really keen air awareness. Just fantastic. And it looks like we have a 10 for Selena Harris, the second of her career.
She had a 10 in last year's NCAA regional final. She has a 10 here in Corvallis. Selena Harris of UCLA.
And for a vault lineup missing Shea Campbell and Nia Reed, what a way for her to step up.
That's a tough act to follow, but if anyone's up for it, it is the Olympic gold medalist, Jade Carey. Been in every bars lineup this year, twice carding a high of 9.975, weeks 1 and 2. She had 2 10s last year.
Does that huge hard wise release move, that full twisting pack salto, And then there's her Van Leeuwen as well. 3 difficult release moves between the bars. And then I love her full out here, so high.
Again with the let's go.
Again with the let's go. Tiny hop. I would call it a tiny hop.
So Sage Thompson had a 9.95 with a 10 from one judge. And then Selena Harris had a 10 from both judges. And they're calling for the perfect 10 for Jade Carey on bars. What did you see?
You know, again, I'm not sitting where the judges are sitting, but it looked to me like her feet slid a little bit on that dismount. It could also be just her pulling her heels together. Again, I don't have the perfect vantage point, but we'll see this dismount again. And so high, beautifully done. And so the crowd is booing because I think the judges agreed with me that her feet moved. So a 9.925 will be her score on bars. Close to perfect, but they wanted a landing more like Sage Thompson's, I guess.
So half a tenth off of her season high. And again, Jade had a pair of perfect 10s last year on bars. And for Oregon State here, unofficially a 49.35 on bars, and UCLA a 49.275 led by Selena Harris. Perfect 10, the second of her career. All the viral floor routines over the years for UCLA. I was there 8 years ago. My first ever gym meet was 1 week after Sabina De Jesus went viral. Nia Dennis in 2020, Margetta Frazier a couple of years ago, Nia Reed this year. You saw Caitlin Ohashi. It has been something. Nia Reed's had more than 3 million views on social media. Been featured on ESPN, Black Entertainment Television, and others. The floor party for UCLA is unlike any other.
And it is something that has transcended coaching staffs, right? So Valerie Condos-Field, the former head coach, known for her dancing and creating this atmosphere, but BJ Doss taking that baton beautifully, creating these routines for Jordan, for Mars. Naya's routine is one I was really hoping to see. It's an homage to her sorority, and they really combine the tumbling with the dance, and it is a lot harder. It takes more endurance to dance as hard as they do.
Well, there's Nia. No Nia tonight, but UCLA, the cupboard is far from bare. All of their floor performers really enjoy putting on a show.
Oh, yeah, when you think that Shea and Nia are out, but you still have, you know, Olympian Brooklyn Moores, Olympian alternate Emma Malabuyu. You've got 5th-year Emma Andres, who's really worked hard to get into the lineup. And then ending with Selena Harris, who she wants her floor team to feel like the Super Bowl, to feel like a J-Lo performance at the Super Bowl. She brings such awesome energy and has great tumbling to match.
Yeah, you are in for a treat. And likewise, Oregon State on beam. Jade Carey will go next to last after Sydney Gonzalez got hurt prior to the meet. We don't know the severity of that injury. So Sage Thompson entered the lineup and is anchoring. And Jade Carey will go 5th. Sophia Esposito doing the all-around for the first time this year. Had a 9.9 on vault, a 9.825 in her first ever collegiate bars routine. And she's been in every beam lineup. She'll go first as she's talking now with Jade Carey.
And I've talked a few times just about Sophia, how impressive she has been as a freshman. And to put her in the leadoff, she's been in the leadoff on beam, but then her first bar performance, to put her in the leadoff there as well, just shows you the confidence that they have in her mental toughness.
Has been in every beam lineup this year, a high of 9.9 3 weeks ago in her last home meet.
And they're supposed to play a beam song for her right now. They started to play, I think, the Beach Boys and then turned it off. And that could phase someone, but that connection was fantastic. So difficult, not phasing her at all. Sounds like the beam song just started up. Doesn't have anything to do with her actual routine, but the gymnasts get to choose something that calms them. Excellent flight series. calms or pumps up, however they choose to do beam.
2023 development program all-around national champion in the senior F group, Sophia Esposito.
Watch her double twist dismount. Goes after this like she's tumbling on the floor. Super high, just a tiny hop back, but an excellent start.
And an excellent start to her career. And tonight doing the all-around for the first time.
There's her flight series. Excellent, and this is that dismount I talked about. A lot of gymnasts just do the 1.5. She does all 2 twists there and just the tiny hop.
A reason to smile for Sophia Esposito. And now here's Emma Malabuyo at a 9.8 on bars. She has a 3-pass routine, a great floor routine last week, caught at a season high 9.925, and Emma loves to perform. Again, she'll be headed to Cairo, Egypt in a couple of days for a World Cup event as she tries to make the Philippine Olympic team.
And I just saw the person running the UCLA floor music sort of hold up the iPhone and shake it at her, and so it seems like they're having a little bit of an issue getting her Great Gatsby music cued. This is a theatrical routine. She really puts on a show like she's a flapper girl from the 20s. Big step on that double tuck, and her front foot slid a little as well.
Better to have a step back than a step forward, though.
Exactly. Just had a little too much juice.
Emma was a U.S. national team member for 5 years, an Olympic alternate for the Tokyo Games, and hoping to make the 2024 Olympics for the Philippines.
It's her 1.5 front layout, well landed.
Both her parents born in California. All 4 of her grandparents were born in the Philippines.
She won a good job maintaining the connection of that leap series. She sort of had a deep squat and could have stopped, but important for her to get that connection.
Final tumbling pass. Emma Malabuyo.
Closes with a double pipe. Excellent landing there.
Love it. And this crowd clad in orange and black showing their appreciation as well.
Yep, they know good gymnastics. They appreciate the musicality. This double pike is her D element. She gets an extra bonus point for doing this hardest one at the end. A little bit of flexed feet, but a very controlled landing. So like Jade, she has multiple floor routines as well. Her routine from last year that featured Paula Abdul, that's when she will compete in Elite if you catch her at the World Cups over the next couple weeks.
9.85 for Sophia Esposito. And now getting a look at Olivia Buckner.
She subbed in for Ellie Weaver at Cal after Ellie's injury, and since then has been so consistent in this lineup.
Looking for a bounce back after the 9.275 on vault. Has back-to-back 9.8s on beam, her high here in her freshman year.
Stag jump, that second element there, difficult to take your eyes off the beam. Still want to get that 180 split. I think she was a little bit shy. And unfortunately takes a big bobble there, but does not fall off. I thought for a second she was going to lose it, but great fight.
How much of a save is that? Half a tenth?
I think that's probably a 3/10 deduction.
No, I'm saying saving it as
saving
opposed to
it.
falling off.
Yes, thank you. 2/10 deduction probably saves 2/10. little bit of a hop back on that dismount, so not a perfect routine, but stays on, which is so important for the mentality of your team. So hips were just off center, but look how close she is to falling off the beam. She is bent in half, shows how flexible and strong gymnasts are. Tell she's not thrilled about that, but she has been put in a lot of tough situations in just 6 meets so far her freshman year.
And now our first of 2 looks at Emma Andres. We'll also see her on beam. 9.825 for Malabuyo. Last week at Poly, Emma Andres competed on floor for the first time since her sophomore year 3 years ago before her injury. And incredibly, she posted a career-high 9.925. Head coach Janelle McDonald said it was a highlight for the entire team.
That was a great save on that 2.5 punch front. The timing was a little bit off. If you're a fan of the Gorillas, this is a mix of that. Round off, double tuck, very well landed. Choreographer, assistant coach BJ Doss, says she has really fantastic musicality. She sings, she plays the piano, the ukulele, and just really gets how to connect with the music.
Really remarkable what she did last week after not having competed on floor in 3 years.
Really like that finish. Very dynamic and entertaining routine. It is just such a testament to her hard work, like you said, as a 5th year, to work your way and consistently be making these beam and floor lineups. Really impressive.
9.425 for Buckner, the freshman from Riverton, Utah, who has a great pedigree and a bright future. Not her day. Jennifer McMillan had a 9.875 on bars. Last week at Utah on beam, a career-high 9.875. This is the 4th competitive beam routine of her 2-year college career. Watch for the creative way. Love the way she mounts the beam.
You don't get any extra points for that down part. You do have to touch the beam in that way, but it's still hard and it's still have a potential to fall. She has a bit of a wobble in between, keeps moving, but also that handspring swing down lacked a little bit of rotation, had to sort of grab the beam to stay on tight.
And when the swing down goes well, it's really good.
If it does not go well, it is very painful.
Jennifer, born in the Dominican Republic, then to North Carolina. She's from Charlotte.
Here's her ring leap. Didn't quite get that foot all the way. They want to see closure between your foot and your head. Nearly touch it. But here's her standing gainer full dismount. Unfortunately took a step with that right foot. A little bit of nerves on that routine, but again, so important to not let those small errors escalate into larger ones. And so this mount, so it's a handstand forward roll. It is not easy to go off to the side like that.
Right.
Most times you split your legs there, but that's her dismount, that gainer full. And you see she just rocked back on her heels a little bit, so had to take that step. Like I said, this finish position change this year has really been a challenge. I talked to both coaches about it, and it's a change in mindset and not something you can replicate during practice.
9.9 for Emma Andres after her 9.925 last week, and now Emily Lee. In the floor lineup the first 3 weeks this year, but not the last 2.
Very high double tuck. Janelle said she may put in the double layout sometime this season.
Posted a 9.7 and 2 9/8 this year on floor. Her career high is 9.95, which she's done 3 times.
Front tumbling pass here. Very well done. Right to the edge of the tape. Didn't go over.
Love the interaction with the teammates during the floor routines. And they all know each other's routines.
Yes, they perform for each other as much as they do for the crowd and themselves. Closes with a double pike. Very well landed. BJ Doss there looking on.
Emily Lee, UCLA junior from Los Gatos, California. We'll see her on beam as well.
And she's won with a ton of international elite experience as well.
Jade Carey talking to Ariana Young, encouraging her. I love the way Jade, now in her junior year, has taken a leadership role.
And she has such a calming presence. You can tell her demeanor is the same, and I'm sure that really helps her teammates, especially on an event like balance beam.
9.725 for McMillan. Had that major balance check. And now Young.
I love the way Ariana Young works balance beam. She is up so high on toes, but this is also a challenging series that she missed. So she was supposed to do a back tuck out of that. So she's going to repeat, or excuse me, she's going to do a different flight series here. She will do a back handspring layout. That is a total improvisation.
Wow.
She did not practice that, warm up that today.
It's amazing that she did it, and amazing that you knew it.
Well, just incredible that she figured that out in real time, just had the tiniest wobble. Off the top, I was talking about how high she works on toe. That is what beam should look like.
Last week, a 9.775 that both you and Jim Watson thought was too low.
I even talked to Tanya about it today. I said, was there a start value discrepancy? And she said the judges thought she was just overall a little bit loose. And I think that's ridiculous, because to work as she does on beam, you cannot be loose at all. And a great save and a great improvisation. That is so hard to just, in the middle of a beam routine, do a back handspring layout. Just so cool to watch. Here's her leap series where she has to bend that back leg. Sort of preposterous to think that they want you to almost kick yourself in the head. And there's her gainer full, has to bend over a little bit to hold on that stick. So a couple deductions we're not used to seeing from her, but what a gutsy way to stay on the beam and get those connections that she needed.
9.825 for Emily Lee, and now Caitlin Rosen. Third of 4 times we'll see her. What a clutch floor routine last week. She had exhibitioned on floor a couple of times earlier this year, then competed for the first time 2 weeks ago, carding just a 9.625. Last week, she thrilled the Pauley crowd with a 9.95. And if you watch, she might cast a spell.
Big double layout to start. Excellent. A little bit of leg separation, sort of like on bars. But watch her commitment to this witchcraft. Big double pike, nice open position.
She's from Texas. She said ever since she was little, she dreamed of having a UCLA floor routine.
Closes with 3 elements in a row, 1.5 front layout, front tuck. I love the addition of that front tuck.
Wow.
It's a pass you don't see that often, so it's just fun. And I mean, just a really special routine.
Special gymnast Caitlin Rosen.
This last pass I mentioned, a lot of people do the 1.5 front layout. She's got so much power, she just throws on the extra front at the end, but look at her stirring her potion and then casting that spell on all of us. What I appreciate
I'm
too,
spellbound.
Yeah, I appreciate that her facial expressions and the way she moves, it doesn't seem fake at all or contrived. Sometimes you see gymnasts smile at different places, and hers seems very natural.
Jade Carey had a 10 last year as Arizona State, completing the gym slam, the career 10 on every apparatus.
Told me I was wasting time with all these silly dreams. I dated down, she knocked me down every time I tried. But I found joy in my life.
Front aerial connected to a straddle jump. Very smooth. Here's her flight series, back handspring layout. Excellent. See which leap series she does here. It's either a switch and then a switch side, or a switch and a switch half. Oh, it's just a switch half to a split jump. Slight bobble there, let her shoulder drop. She's training so many different elements in elite that she's done 3 different versions of that routine, this routine so far this season. And from my vantage point, gets the landing. Did that right foot move at all, Rich?
I didn't see it.
So just a tiny wobble on that leap series, as I mentioned. So in elite, she has to do so many more difficult skills. So every day she does some college routines, and then she does some elite routines, and then elite skills.
Again, you're looking at an Olympic gold medalist here, and she's trying to become the first ever active collegian to make a U.S. Olympic team.
And those feet did not move at all, so that was crazy of me. But look at these teammates celebrating, because you know this has been a little bit of a nervy beam set, and so important to get another hit and then some pressure on Sage Thompson so they can drop Buckner's score.
A 9.925 for Caitlin Rosen. A quarter of a tenth off of what she did last week. And now watch the artistry of Brooklyn Moores.
Well landed, went out of bounds last week.
She says she tells people when she goes to gymnastics practice, I'm going to do my art piece today.
No one that can match the drama of Brooklyn Moores, this euphoria music. About as dramatic as you can get.
Remember the Canadian Olympic team in 2021? A finalist in the individual all-around, finished 16th.
This routine from last year because didn't quite get to put it on display as much. Need everyone to appreciate its beauty. Excellent, Rudy.
Brooklyn Moores, her teammates love it, and we do too.
Doesn't that just feel like teenage angst and drama? That show Euphoria, that's what it's all about. She displays that, but with beautiful tumbling. That height on that Rudy is really exceptional.
A 9.9 for Jade Carey in her beam routine. And now here is Sage Thompson. Late entry into this lineup. Has not competed on beam in college, though she has exhibition this year. Didn't compete on beam while with Utah either. So her 3rd year, her first ever collegiate beam routine.
Fans love that candle mount. start. And here's our backhand swing layout flight series. Just a tiny bobble there. That's one where she's just not quite as confident. It was on, but beam is scary.
Samantha Pescic told me you have to make friends with the beam.
Yep, and unfortunately, she did not go full out on that wolf jump 3/4, which is why she fell. She was being tentative, trying to stay on instead of going all out. I love this side semi she'll do here.
She was going to be exhibitioning today. Sydney Gonzalez was a late scratch after her injury just prior to the meet.
I have no doubt she's going to be an awesome contributor to this beam lineup one day, but today the nerves got the best of her.
Sage had a 9.95 on bars earlier with a 10 from one judge. Here in her first collegiate beam routine. You look into the future. A 9.95 for Brooklyn Moores. And now Selena Harris. Number 14 in the nation on floor. Probably number 4 on floor. And last week, career high all around. Saw her get better scores as the meet went along. 9.975 on floor last week.
Get ready for her Latin Super Bowl halftime show. Daddy Yankee, J-Lo, but first a huge double layout. Excellent job. She did a full in last year, but was a little frustrated that she wasn't getting the big scores because she had a few built-in deductions. So just learned a casual double layout. Off season. Little hop forward on that double tuck. Chest was down. Answers the cell phone a la Angie Sipra, former Bruin.
I remember that. Her iPhone routine.
Whoa.
Janelle McDonald says that Selena Harris doesn't just do gymnastics. She loves gymnastics, and you can tell.
Here's her woo, combination pass to close. Got a little squirrely on that ring jump, but controlled it well.
Had a 10 on vault, 9.95 on bars.
BJ Doss says she's one of the only athletes who gets to ad-lib during her floor routine. She'll do a different choreographic move. But look at this double layout. Excellent. Nails the landing. And this last pass does this 1.5 and then to this Branny, the front half, and this stag jump. Woo! You could tell open way up out of it because she was so high. Janelle McDonald, one of the biggest sideline cheerleaders you'll see out there.
Selena Harris last week 39.775 in the all-around. That included a 9.875 on vault. She had a 10 on vault tonight. She matched her bars score from last week, 9.95. Her floor score last week was 9.975.
Yeah, the Bruins really gained some ground in this rotation with Oregon State having to count that low score from Olivia Buckner.
So they draw a red line through Sage Thompson's 9.075. And so 48.725 for Oregon State on beam. Their high this year, 49.5. Their average 49.09, but just the 48.725 today.
And Coach Chaplin really hoping to hit 24 for 24. Not tonight, unfortunately.
9.825 for Emily Lee, and they get to draw a red line through that one. Look at that, 49.45 for UCLA on floor. That their high this year, 49.75. Their average 49.53. Take a break and come back for the final rotation. The Beavs ahead of the floor, and the Bruins to the beam. Well, UCLA gained 1.175 in that third rotation as Oregon State had a count of 9-4 score on beam, and so UCLA leads by almost a point, 0.925, as we head into the final rotation. This is our first of a couple of meets this weekend here on Pac-12 Network. And coming up tomorrow, it will be Utah at Washington, noon on Pac-12 Network. Miley O'Keefe coming off a perfect 10, the 14th of her illustrious career.
She truly is a beam queen. She has the perfect dance, and then combined with this hard tumbling, that side aerial to a back layout, she has done absolutely flawlessly, and the Huntsman just erupted for her. She knew. She's so technically good. Her basics are so good that if she nails the landing, she knows it should be perfect. That was her 14th perfect 10, 13th on beam, which tied for the most in Utah history with the phenomenal Teresa Kulikowski.
Yeah, remarkable Miley O'Keefe. Red Rocks head coach Carly Dockendorf in her first season. Utah returned 16 to 24 routines from last year's team that placed third in the country. Yeah. Washington features senior Skylar Killer-Wilhelm, who won the all-around at Stanford last week. Here and there are the rankings you'll find at roadtonationals.com. Cal, number 2 in the nation. Utah, number 4. So quite a top 5 right there. UCLA number 8, Oregon State 18.
Yeah, Carly Dockendorf going home to Washington. That's where she competed as an undergrad back in the early thousands. Just her, really thrust into the head coaching position and has done so great for them as the Beavers start their own dance party.
Band saying OSU and the...
And UCLA getting in on the action too.
But Jim Beam's loving it.
Yeah, Jake Carey just as nonplussed as always. You know she's excited, but it's just such a gamer, so consistent. It's a really great orange out at Guild tonight. Great crowd.
And now the Beavers fight song. In what other sport do you get athletes from another team dancing to that team's fight song? That's what's happening here at Gill Coliseum.
Not the meet that Tanya Chaplin hoped for with that unfortunate fall on beam, losing Sydney Gonzalez, but they have an opportunity to finish really strong on floor. And I'm excited to see Carly Chavez in the lineup. This will be her debut on floor, and she has a really fun, really dynamic routine. She'll be in the 3 spot.
Great crowd here at Gill Coliseum.
Really fun. Ariana Young leading that cheer there before she gets ready for her floor routine. And how exciting that we get to see Jade Carey on floor, the reigning Olympic champion. We'll see one version of her floor routine. She has 2.
Giving a fist bump to our camera operator, Zippy, Jason Van Zippel. Hi, boy, Zippy. We'll be back to Corvallis. Beavs on the floor. Bruins on the beam for the final rotation. So 0.925 lead for UCLA over Oregon State if you're new to gymnastics. A 1-point lead is like leading by 2 touchdowns in football. That last rotation, Oregon State had a count a 9-4, and so that's where UCLA opened up the gap. Still, lots of entertainment to come with UCLA on beam and Oregon State on floor. Maya Lazan of Cal, ranked number 2 in the nation, ranked 2nd on vault, beam, and floor, and in the all-around. The junior from here in the Pacific Northwest, Kent Washington, her coaches talk about her amazing personality, bright and energetic, a great teammate.
Yeah, and really leading that Cal team, 2nd in the country. They are by the clear leaders of the conference as well right now. They have so much depth from top to bottom. I think just Justin Howell and Liz Crandall Howell have done such a phenomenal job coaching that team. They improve so much in the off season. It's been really fun to see Cal rise. Their program was almost canceled, and now they're fighting for the top of the country. Really cool.
And they will host Arizona tomorrow at noon. Their 197.7 average, the Cal Bears, second only to the three-time champion Oklahoma, 198.045, sixth title for Oklahoma, and their third consecutive. Here, UCLA on beam will start with Emily Lee. Got a 9.8 on vault, a 9.825 on floor. Led off the beam lineup last week, carding a season high 9.925, just a quarter of a tenth off her career high set in March of last year.
She loves the leadoff spot. She does not want to wait around on beam. She wants to warm up and go. She loves setting the tone for the team, and they are so confident in her to do so. Good correction on that front aerial. Her hip was off a little bit, but moved right into the split jump.
Junior academically, just her second year competing. 2 years ago, missed the entire season, recovering from an Achilles injury.
Excellent flight series.
She was 8th on beam at the 2021 Olympic trials.
Great leaps. Love the choreo from her floor routine last year. And we'll do a back handspring gainer full off the side. And just a tiny hop back. Very clean, dynamic start. Sets the tone well. Check this back handspring, gainer full off the side, and just had a little too much. Didn't absorb that landing quite enough.
Well done for the Los Gatos, California native Emily Lee. And now Caitlin Garcia for Oregon State had a 9.825 on vault. Looking to bounce back on floor from last week, anchoring the floor lineup at Utah. She suffered a fall on her second and final tumbling pass to end the routine. But that Oregon State had to count a fall in that rotation.
Combination 1.5 to front layout to start. Very clean.
Caitlin trained at the same YMCA in San Diego from age 4 until coming to Corvallis.
Good extension on her leaps.
Love the smile.
And this double tuck she fell on last week. She just opened up too early. She's so high. Rich, at your height, I think you could walk under her. She's gonna get 10, 12 feet in the air here. See if she can get the landing.
Looking for a bounce back, Caitlin Garcia.
Phenomenal.
And she did it. Caitlin Garcia, great routine, a bounce back from last week at Utah, and her teammates love it.
She is stoked, as she should be. And watch the height of this. Just fantastic. Lands chest up, teammates go wild.
I think I would have made it walking underneath her, but I would have had to run. Look at Jade.
So great to see those redemption moments.
9.875 for Emily Lee, and now here's Caitlin Rosen. 9.825 on vault, 9.875 on bars, 9.925 on floor. Last week had a season low 9.75 on beam, the only thing marring an otherwise excellent 39.5 all-around day.
teeny bobble there, and on that stag jump, I really want to see right angles. I want both of her legs to sort of create squares. Back leg just didn't quite get there. But very nice front aerial. She saves her flight series till almost the end. Here's her backhand swing layout. Excellent. Her presence on beam, sort of like it is on floor. She is not intimidated. She is owning this. Close with a round off 1.5. Awesome job. Just performs well beyond her freshman year. Here is the dismount. Round off 1.5 twist, spotting the ground all the way down. And just a slight hop to the side.
Really good all-around meet for Caitlin Rosen. 9.875 for Caitlin Garcia. That matches her career high from weeks 1 and 3 this year. And now Savannah Miller. She fell on floor on her first tumbling pass last week. Beavers had a counter fall. Let's see how she bounces back.
Yeah, it's really uncharacteristic and no problem. Actually, too much juice today. She had knee surgery in November. So really impressive that she's already back out there on floor.
Yeah, last year she was in every floor lineup as a freshman. Every score was 9.8 or above.
It's a super tumbler. She'll do a double tuck here.
3-pass routine 2 weeks ago. Last week, just 2 passes.
Nice and high. A little bit of a large lunge, but didn't move the front foot. With a 2-passer team, you have to do another leap series to get the bonus. She'll do that here. Important to hit those positions well. And she did. Another redemption routine. The Beavers really needed that. Great job.
Her career high 9.9, which she's done 6 times. Savannah Miller.
Here's her double tuck. Last pass.
Should add
Nice
she was a
and
late
high.
entry into the lineup.
Yeah, exactly. Sage Thompson was a late scratch. Savannah did a great job subbing in. Hasn't had the floor start to the season like we expected from her, but regaining confidence after that injury.
9.8 for Rosen, and now Emma Andres. Love the graceful way she mounts the beam. Competing on beam in week 2 for the first time in her college career, posted a 9.9. Been in every beam lineup since.
Yeah, that sort of helicopter leg thing she does there. There's not a technical name for it. It's so cool.
Maybe you just coined it. The helicopter leg thing.
Exactly. Super articulate. Really nice switch half there.
Emma didn't compete the last 2 seasons after an injury prior to her junior year. Though she did exhibition on beam and floor on senior day last year.
Awesome gainer layout. Just looks like she is having so much fun up there, really enjoys her gymnastics. Here's her flight series, and unfortunately, it was low from the start. So she's gonna have to repeat that to get her flight series credit. So she's gonna do another pitch front. Difficult to do it right after you've fallen on it. And wobbles and is probably gonna do that back handspring swing down, but she will be 2/10 short for not having a flight series in addition to that fall. So her ceiling on this routine is just a 9.3.
Lisa, I love the way you explain things.
Appreciate it. She was a big double twist here. And excellent landing, but the routine the Bruins are going to want to drop.
Here's the helicopter leg thingy you were talking about.
Right after this great mount. I love that sort of forward roll thing. Again, it's harder than it looks. You could tell she had to sort of squeeze.
It looks hard.
And then, I mean, maybe a helicopter side roll? Either way, really cool and different, but not the best routine for Emma.
9.85 for Savannah Miller, half a tenth off her career high. And now here is Carly Chavez. She is competing on floor for the first time in her 3-year career, though she has exhibitions several times this year.
Starts with the double pike. Excellent landing. It's a little too much power almost.
Her first competitive routine on any apparatus this year.
Common back 1.5 front layout. Well landed.
Katie Annabelle in the orange in the background. Former Oregon State Beaver. She was Katie McMillan when she was here.
Just a double tuck away from a fantastic floor debut. Rock solid landing, and she is stoked. That was a fantastic routine and such a great job for her.
Carly Chavez, now a junior, her first floor routine of her collegiate career, and she nailed it.
Really did not look like there were any nerves involved here. Was so confident in her tumbling. There's this double tuck to finish. And so important for the Beavers to have this sort of depth that they know that they can plug into the lineup should anything happen. Obviously super unfortunate to have Sydney Gonzalez go down, but for Carly Chavez to prove herself like that, really, really clutch.
Said that Oregon State has always been her dream school. She loved working with the coaches at the camps, and now in her 3rd year, her first floor routine, and it was excellent. An 8-9 for Emma Andres. So pressure's on Selena Harris and the 3 that follow her. Harris already with the 10-0 on vault, a 9.95 on bars, a 9.85 on floor.
She'll do a triple series here, uses all 16 feet of that beam. Back handspring to a layout and another back handspring. Flawless. And she'll connect 2 leaps to a full turn right here. More difficult than it looks. Awesome. I love how she goes from end to end, from the flight series to the leap series. Here's her front toss. Excellent landing, a little bit of legs as she came over the top. They said she ad-libbed on floor. She also ad-libs on beam there. She just blew 2 kisses today to her teammates. And here's her dismount. Round off huge. 1.5 nails the landing. This sophomore is something special.
Isn't she though? Selena Harris already carded a 10 on vault today, the 5th 10 in the Pac-12 this year.
That triple series, so well controlled. And she has such incredible air awareness. She stuck everything tonight. She stuck her vault, she stuck her bar landing, and nails that beam landing.
Selena Harris, last year's Pac-12 Freshman of the Year. 9.85 for Carly Chavez in her first ever collegiate floor routine. And now here's Sophia Esposito doing the all-around for the first time. 9.9 on vault, 9.825 on bars, 9.85 on beam. Had a nice all-around meet.
Connection
Lots of room there. She stepped out of bounds on her first tumbling pass last week at Utah. Would have had a 9.85, but got a 1/10 deduction for that.
Overdid that switch side there a little bit. Started the turn for her split jump too early. Do a double pike here, no back handspring, does it just right out of a round off. Excellent landing. Great, really great all around meet for her.
Beavers having a floor party of their own.
Here's her last pass, this double pike. Really has to wind up in that round off to get the power she needs to do a double pike. Brian Carey, the assistant coach there in the corner, he's really made an impact on these floor tumbling and on vault.
9.95 for Selena Harris to go along with her 9.95 on bars, her 10 on vault, her 9.85 on floor.
Here's Emma Malabuyo.
Malabuyo with a 9.8 on bars, a 9.825 on floor. This will be her final routine for UCLA for a few weeks as she heads to Cairo in a couple of days to compete in the World Cup as she tries to make the Philippines Olympic team. Making it rain a little bit there.
And she is a Beamer. This Beaver crowd went wild for Esposito's floor score, and it did not faze her at all. Great ring position there. Tiny bobble between the beat jump. Really dances on beam. Just a quick routine here. Does back handspring gainer full off the side. And just a hop back. Awesome. And best of luck to her. Would love to see her qualify in the World Cup. So you compete in 2 events in the World Cup, but if she qualifies, she can compete all around at the Olympics.
9.95 for Esposito. Wow, what a meet she had in her first ever go-round at the all-around. Ariana Young now. So Ariana leading the crowd during the rotation break and the OSU chants. You ready for a celebration? Cool in the gang. Ariana notched a 9.9 last week at Utah, just a 1/4 off her career high.
Just a tiny hop forward, but a beautiful double pike. Comes back with another double tuck here. Got that landing. Love how she's getting the crowd involved. Front layout, front full. Really, really fun and dynamic floor routine. Ariana Young, she is special. Didn't have a perfect beam routine, but came back with that powerhouse of a floor routine.
Career high is 9.925. Is this as good or better?
With that first pass, she landed a little bit low. That was the only thing that I think the judges would take for her. So could be, we'll see. Her teammates have set her up well.
9.875 for Emma Malabuyo. And now here's our first look at Sienna Alipio, the sophomore from San Jose, California. Anchored the beam rotation last week against Arizona. Posted a career-high tying 9.925.
She is a beam specialist.
Silver medalist on beam at the U.S. Championships in 2018, 2019, and 2022.
Here's her flight series. 2 flips in a row, front to back. Oh, goodness. Major wobble there, just
Unlike
on
her.
her choreo. Yeah, walking backwards. That leap series, she switches legs. She does her left leg for the first, right leg for the second. That sort of ambidextrousness on beam is super special. Unfortunately, another little bobble on that full turn. Before this, her beam scores were steadily rising each meet. Unfortunately, that bobble is going to cost her, but huge gainer full off the end. She's an awesome anchor for them, just a little uncharacteristic wobble.
One more routine, it's Jade Carey. And they're the all-around performers. Selena Harris, a 39.75. Sophia Esposito, 39.525. Harris's 39.75 is a 1/4 of a tenth off her career high last week. And Esposito doing the all-around for the first time. Very nice 39.525. And now Jade Carey doing the all-around for the first time this year. Olympic gold medalist, consistent all-arounder last year. Lighter workload this year because she's preparing to make another run at the Olympics. But tonight, she talked her coaches into letting her do the all-around.
And watered down, tumbling passes. She has a little too much power.
Yeah, you were saying last week she had too much power in a lot of her routines, that she's just a little too excited.
You know, she just does skills that are so much more challenging these. And to rein it in is so, it's like telling a baseball player, don't hit a home run. This is the same paint it black floor routine. She'll flex here. Love this. She has a different routine that she'll use as she tries for Paris with 4 passes. She'll close with just an easy for her double tuck. Again, just a little bit of a hop out.
Jade Carey, you are something else.
Really a treat for us and for this crowd to get to see her. She will verify her routines for the national team staff next week. She missed camp this week. This double tuck is just a warm-up for her. Typically, her dad and Coach Brian said she has a new pass that we'll see from her in elite. He wouldn't tell me what it was. It's not the triple-double, but just so awesome for Jade to be continuing her elite pursuits here at Oregon State.
Talk with head coach Tanya Chaplin. 49.375 on floor for Oregon State. Their high this year, 49.425. So half a tenth off their high for this year. UCLA at 49.25 on beam. And when we come back, we hope to talk with Jade Carey. Let's talk with Sophia Esposito. They're turned into quite the leader. A little more coming up from here in Corvallis. Jade Carey in the beeves with 196.7. Their high this year, 197.575. UCLA, meanwhile, 197.425. They hit 198 last week, so not spectacular overall for the team, but we had some fantastic moments, namely Jade Carey doing the all-around for the first time this year. Tell us about the conversations leading up to that and the coaches allowing you to do the all-around as you also prepare for elite and hopefully the Olympics.
Yeah, I've definitely been pacing myself a little bit this year since I am focusing on training for the Olympics and getting those routines ready, but I was really grateful that I was able to do the all-around tonight, and just really everything I do is for this team.
How many times did you practice that painted black floor routine?
Once.
What?
This week.
Once?
I didn't want to debut my elite routine yet, and since it's like 4 passes and all that stuff, so we just went with something that I already knew. So yeah, I did it once on like Tuesday.
And what about that Yurchenko full vault? Is that just your warm-up typically?
Yeah, definitely just a warm-up, and it's pretty weird competing it, but it's definitely what's best for me in my elite training also.
You know, I love the way that you've committed yourself to this program. A lot of other teams got onto you after you deferred for 3 years. You could have gone elsewhere. You said you wanted to be a Beeb. Here you are trying to become the first active collegian to make a U.S. Olympic team. And I love the way you lead your teammates. What do you think of Sofia Esposito's 39.525 in the all-around tonight?
That's great. I'm so proud of her coming in as a freshman and really stepping up to the challenge. It's definitely not easy. And for her first all-around competition, she did a fabulous job, and I'm really proud of her.
And what about Carly Chavez in that floor routine?
I loved it. I've been telling her that to just keep pushing and training in the gym, and it's going to pay off in a meet, and I'm so, so happy for her and glad that she put out a great floor routine.
Well, Jade, we always appreciate talking with you, and just good luck the rest of this year, and good luck this spring, and hopefully this summer. Would love to see you again in international competition at the Olympics.
Thank you.
All right, that's Jade Carey, junior for Oregon State. Yeah, she deferred for 3 years. She could have gone elsewhere. Lots of other schools wanted her, of course, but she elected to stay here. She just loves Oregon State.
And it shows her devotion to this team, and the way she is sticking around here to train for Paris shows that it is possible to be in college gymnastics and compete with the best in the world.
And compete with the best in the Pac-12, and that includes Selena Harris, who had the 5th 10 in the Pac-12 this year, and the first on vault.
And Selena was so fantastic start to finish tonight. This vault, this 1.5, so clean, lands it, stuck every landing tonight from vault all the way to the end at beam. She wins vault, bars, and beam tonight for a 39.75. What a special athlete.
39.75, a quarter of a tenth off her career high on the all-around set last week. She was remarkable, and she just continues to get better and better.
Yeah, and a little bit of a different night for the Bruins with different lineup makeup. It was so important for her to be the rock at the end of the lineup that she was. You know, with Emma Malabuyo taking off for the World Cups, it was really important for, you know, Paige Anastasi and for Alex Irvine to get that competitive experience. And
yeah, no Shea Campbell tonight, no Nia Reed. UCLA next competes in 10 days on President's Day at home against Utah. That'll be a big one, and hopefully those two are back.
Yeah, exactly. And also hope to see Sydney Gonzalez again for the Beavers. Unknown what that injury is, but she's super important to the team. And like we said, also a great opportunity tonight for some depth experience. Loved seeing Carly Chavez come in and nail that 9.85 on floor.
Yeah, sing to me, Caitlin. Love it. Next Saturday, the Beavers will be home against Stanford. That'll be at 11 a.m. on Pac-12 Insider. And again, UCLA on ESPNU on President's Day at home against Utah at 2:30. Our senior coordinating producer is Will O'Toole. For producer David Feldman, director Tim Lay, for Elisa Mao and our entire crew, I'm Rich Burke. That's it from here in Corvallis.